My name is Brent Andrew Doty, and I'm from Meadowvale, Mississauga.
Excellent, excellent. And just right off the bat, how would you describe your art style?
Complex.
Complex. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just off camera, we were speaking, and you were mentioning that you want your art to be more than just, I guess, an initial glance.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And it has, like, when you see, I'll insert pictures and stuff, when you see the work, and you take, when you put your head right to it, you'll notice
you'll
that
always find other meetings. I have clients constantly, their content, like, what's going on in this corner? I never noticed. You'll always find another little area, and I like to hide little kind of totemic meanings within certain areas, and some are more applicable than others, but I do love to hide certain things, and it's there's always another layer of meaning to find in my work, for sure.
And the one that you're working on now, some of the intricate pieces.
So it's the Van Gogh Diaries. So it's his Van Gogh diary. The pages are hand painted and then cut and pasted with all the different colors to create the original image. So there's a lot of layering. Again, off camera we were talking about kind of the word jumble aspect, where you kind of get one sentence that'll bleed into another, and sometimes you get the kind of randomness that it does almost make sense, more poetic, but yeah.
Well, that kind of, you showed me the process. Like I'm seeing right now on the table, there's
my palette. I usually work. Again, trying to speed things up, so I even have my holster, so I have my scissors. I generally have I'm working certain areas, so I'll have certain colors, and then kind of like Edward Scissorhands, I end up with just paper all over the place. But I generally work in certain areas, again trying to fill in the space, but then also taking those shapes and giving them form. So there's still probably a month plus worth of work in this one, at least.
So how do you know when it's done?
That's a tough one too. It's not a puzzle where you're like, that's the last piece. It's sometimes you have to know when to stop. Because I always love more. It's a circus up here, so but sometimes you're kind of like, that's it. And sometimes you'll see things after, and you're kind of like, no, you don't want to be George Lucas and 20 years after the fact, or add things to Star Wars. You want to be that guy, right? You kind of have to know when to stop.
I get it. Okay, cool. So we also talked about this briefly, and I like to ask this to a lot of different artists.
Sure.
Is anyone else in your family creative?
Nieces, yes, but it was kind of a shock to my parents. Whether there's no history of this in our family. Very business mind, analytical side of things, which I guess kind of comes into play. Again, I see so much with my father, and my mom's planning and everything and what I do, but it's very different. It's very unique and very my own. Which, if anything, I've always tried to do my own thing. So even this medium is, like I was saying off camera, always felt limited by pencil and. I love the challenge of it and color again, but I always just wanted something more just paint. I want something beyond the paint. So once I got to combine paint and images and paint and words, then I was the circus. This is Vegas. This is what I want. Sensory overload.
It's very stimulating. Like I said earlier, every time I see your place, your art. It's because I know there's so much detail in it. It's very inviting. It draws me in.
I always was bored by those paintings as a kid, the ones you can just take in the whole painting, and the time it takes you to walk past it, where you're just like, a barn, a field. Why would you look at it again? There's just kind of nothing to really draw you in there. So, I just love adding new layers and just, I love the complex.
And then on top of that, when did you kind of realize that you were creative in this kind of way, like visual art kind of thing?
I was always kind of a doodler as a kid. I guess every kid kind of starts out drawing and that kind of thing. But I was always getting encouragement at home for it. And then I'd done a big school project. It wasn't even a school project. They just let me work in the hallway for weeks. I don't know, it was just like a pain in the butt. And they were like, just let him out there.
You were a problem child.
Yeah, just leave him out there. He's quiet.
This is the only way to calm you down.
Yeah, I look back and I'm like, it wasn't even like an art class. And why did they let me just spend weeks in the hallway? Probably this break. But yeah, I did a life-size pencil kernel drawing of King Tut. And that was the first time that it was framed and sent to the head office, and someone outside of the home said that this is...
They recognized
they recognized the talent, and I kind of got accolades, and I kind of liked that, and yeah, I just, I was always focused on it. And I like that it was a solitary, like I did a lot of team sports, and you need equipment and a lot of kind of thing, and this was just in class, I could just tune out the teacher and start doodling.
A solo effort, not
I mean, my grades kind of went down, but my art got good.
Well,
yeah.
It's a good trade-off.
Yeah, give and take.
Yeah. Has your work been outside of Canada, like displayed outside of Canada?
Yeah.
And we were talking again. I believe you have some of the other Van Gogh inspired pieces have been outside of Canada.
Yeah, I have a bunch of paintings in Mexico. I have one in Dubai, a couple in Europe, a whole bunch all over the states, many states, and then Canada all over the provinces, and no territories yet.
Okay, on its
but
way.
We'll see. Yeah.
That's cool, because your work definitely to me has like a travel sensibility to it. Like
I want it to be semi-universal. Again, it's art can be somewhat geographical, but it's it's you don't need a Rosetta Stone for it. I mean, I think every artwork is kind of
it translates.
Yeah, it translates. I mean, you don't really want to have like a legend, but it's I give you a lot of information to decipher, but I think they're pretty universal. Yeah.
So this is another thing. How do you select what your subject is going to be?
So I mean, I have a list.
Okay.
Literally, that just keeps getting added to subjects. So sometimes it's something in current events happens that bumps something up. I'm kind of trying to feed themes a lot lately, where early on in the Serialist medium I was just experimenting with the many ways I could use it, things I can say with it. And now that I've kind of got the language figured out and the size and kind of gotten to know my materials better, I kind of know what I can do with it. So I've been working on I want to do like a whole, again, working on the book series. I think about doing like authors, doing like portraits of like, say, Stephen King, using all of his book pages, or a lot of icons, musicians. I want to do an Ozzy Osbourne. I want to do Kobe Bryant, Canada's Wonderland we talked about. Hunter S. Thompson. I want to do like an architecture series.
Okay.
So sometimes it's just just feeling it's the right time. Sometimes it's like, well, I haven't done enough research yet. I'm not ready to start that. So, like, even when I'm working on 2, 3, I still have piles of books that I'm going through trying to find, information or other subject matter. Or sometimes I start working on one subject and I end up leaving that because I find something else in the research, and then that takes me in another direction. So, my focus,
Well, it's interesting because you see, to do this, it would take, like you're talking about your process. It takes a lot of focus. So,
well, even just before, like again, the Van Gogh, the last one I finished took 4 months to produce, not including the research and all the stuff you do beforehand. So there is a lot of like, is this worth my time? Is this, am I starting this road? Because once you start, you never know how long it's going to take, or even when you're finished, or but I do love that. It's an adventure.
Yes.
Each one. Yeah. Again, they're similar, but they're so different. And I learned so much from everyone. For sure.
We're learning a lot from your works. I mean, one of my favorite ones that you have is the Honest Ed one.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Which, R.I.P. Honest Eds.
And again, like the more iconic, the more loaded the image, the better, because everyone in Toronto has some story with Honest Eds. I got a turkey, or my uncle used to take me there, or I got a sweater. I used to go there when it would rain, or just random
there's a
stories.
connection to it.
And even funny enough, when we went up there we did like a little video shoot, almost kind of by a streetcar, but holding the painting in the street, and I was kind of surprised how many people came up saying, "What is that?"
Yeah.
Because again, younger generations,
Don't know.
if you didn't grow up with it, you would have no. It's just a condo, like you wouldn't know what it was.
They wouldn't realize.
But yeah, I think again, focusing more on Canadian icons and kind of landmarks.
Yeah.
I want to do more of like the Much Music, Canada's Wonderland we talked about. There's so much history and nostalgia, I think, for most generations, but I think even more now looking back, and I think focusing more on local Canadian landmarks and history is, I think, going to be a focus of mine in the future.
Also, what I like about your social media is that you share. I didn't actually get your dog's name.
Oh, Columbo, yeah.
Columbo.
Yeah.
And you skateboard, which
I do.
You were planning. You were just telling me you were planning, you and your brother. So how important are those things maybe to your process, or way to step away?
Oh, big time. I think skateboarding was probably the first kind of it just made me think of the whole world differently. Like before, like literature, I really even found artists or drugs or other life
things.
experiences that you just kind of go, whoa, I never thought of something like that. Where growing up in a suburb in Ontario, just angst-ridden teenager, this sucks. Everything sucks. And then I had this skateboard. It just became this tool that everywhere in my neighborhood became an amusement park. Everything became Canada's Wonderland. Like that curb, those stairs, that handrail. It made me look at the whole world differently. Where suddenly this crappy little suburb became an amusement park. Everything was, but then it kind of became a stigma. You were kind of a pirate. You're being chased out of things, and it kind of bred that rebelness into me, and which I kind of think led into the art and even the solitary aspect of it, where you don't need a team, you don't need equipment. You could just me and my sketch pad, me and my skateboard, and you can do it. Everyone does a kickflip, but everyone does their own kickflip.
Yeah.
Everyone draws, but everyone draws their own style. So there's a lot of similarities of style, originality, wanting to be a trendsetter, push barriers, kind of break the mold, kind of be, an iconoclast, kind of just, break down doors. And now it's in the Olympics. Like, who would have thought? Like, that's, we were pirates. That would have never occurred to us back then. This would be accepted by anybody, let alone
the world. I also noticed, in addition to that, is like the horror and books. Like, I like books as well, but you clearly have a library.
Oh yeah, books, comics, horror movies. Again, I think I just like those kind of stepping on toes. Like I can still remember the first time I brought home like Helter Skelter or like Naked Lunch, Clockwork Orange. What are you doing with that? Like kind of
Why are you reading
that forbidden thing. Like you should be watching Faces of Death, or you should be watching Freddy Krueger, or it was kind of that. Don't read these books, and it was like, oh, those are the first ones I gotta read. I just
starting with those.
I love those. Yeah, don't do that. Oh, I'm gonna do that. Don't click the red button. I'm gonna push the red button. And I just always love those. The Howard Sterns, the troublemakers, the kind of puckish, on the edge, but then kind of realize at the edge, like, why is there an edge? Like, why is that taboo?
Realizing it's not that big of a deal.
No, it's really not that weird.
Many people are at this edge already.
And even kind of sometimes like taking them over the edge and then having them thank you for it. Like realizing, oh, that was what I was afraid of. Like, and again, I think some of that's facing your fears too. Like skateboarding, especially, you're just kind of like, oh, you just gotta throw yourself down that set of stairs. And sometimes with painting, you just gotta start, man. Just go. Don't look at the 4 months. Don't look at the. It's a process. Everything's a process.
Just get started.
And sometimes you'll learn a million things on the way.
Cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate you inviting us over and talking. So where can the people find more of your work?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as Brent the Serialist, and also online at www.brenttheserialist.com.
Cool. I'll put it in there as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
So thanks again.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Shout out Columbo. It's funny, so many people are like, oh, I can see him like pop up in the